Hello, my friends. My name is Jake. This is Returning Retro, where we talk about vintage tech, retro tech, and in the case of today's video, intentional technology. So this device that I'm going to talk about today it completely took me off guard. I ordered it kind of on a whim. It's a small screen phone, which I've in the past really enjoyed just kind of tinkering around with, but I have grown to love this device. It is something that it is a neat little intentional gadget in that because of the screen size, I just find myself not reaching for it. The doom scroll, I just don't have the doom scroll impulse with this thing, despite it just having full Android, being a regular smartphone for all intents and purposes. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the Bluefox NX1. So I'll do a more in-depth comparison to some of the other devices out there, but this is a really small phone. I didn't have any really preconceived notions. I'd never heard of the company behind the Bluefox NX1. It's a company called Aiphor. Or Aiphor, I'm not exactly sure how they pronounce it, but I saw this thing and I thought, hey, you know, I'd had a little bit of experience with some small phones recently, and I thought that might be a good way to have a device that has everything that I need, but just by nature of how tiny the dang thing is, not necessarily be so predisposed to constantly be checking it, to be watching the videos on YouTube or social media, getting sucked in, you know, scroll, and wouldn't you know it, here a couple of months in, that has been the case. It has full Google, it has full Play Store. It's actually Google Play certified, so it has RCS support. Everything that you would be able to use on any old Android device works on this for a very reasonable price. I'll put a link to their site. This is not a sponsored video. I do not have an affiliate link with them. This is just something that I've really enjoyed, and so I thought that you guys might like to know about as well. So yeah, let's head over to the tabletop, and I can show you a little bit more about just how cool of a little device this is. It's a tiny phone. Guys, I apologize it's taken a while to get this video out. The end of the year and the beginning of the year is always a crazy time for me, but I love the Bluefox NX1. I have used it almost constantly since I received it about a month and a half ago, and I just love this tiny little device. So I have a lot to say about it, so we're just going to dive right into the video here. Some size comparisons. Some of you may have seen I did a short, I think it was, showing you just how small this thing is, but here next to the BlackBerry Classic, it is a tiny little guy. I even have on hand here, I just thought it would be fun to do a little comparison. Get the case out of the way there. Next to the Punkt MP02, and it is, by comparison, still tiny. And naturally, you've got a much larger screen with this being a touchscreen device and this being a T9 keypad device. But just to give you a little bit of a size comparison there, I wanted to show you just how tiny. Now, it is a little thick. You can see it's a little chunky. But I honestly didn't really notice any problems with the, shall we call it, girth of the device. So let's do, turn the screen off there, do a little walkthrough here. So down on the bottom, you've got a microphone and your USB-C jack. Over on the right-hand side, you've got your hybrid micro SD nano SIM slot. Both work fine. You got your power sleep button right there. Up along the top, I believe this is an IR blaster. I haven't put an app on to test that yet, but it's there for those who like it. Volume rocker on the side, and then around back you have your camera with your LED flash. So a very simple device. Now in terms of the audio, you've got a single speaker that is dual earpiece and loudspeaker right there. So there's no stereo setup on here. It gets loud enough, not the loudest definitely, because again, we're talking about a tiny little device here. And then on the front, you've got your front-facing camera as well. All the specs are available on the website. I'll be sure and put a link to that here. I don't like using time to talk about specs here, but in terms of real-world review, this has been a really surprising little device. You know, you kind of see here, I do use it in the real world. I've dropped it a few times. It has a tempered glass screen protector on it there, so it saved it from any severe damage at least. But yeah, so right now I'm using it with US Mobile on their Lightspeed network. You can see here, even down in my basement, I've got 2 bars. Wi-Fi connectivity has been solid. I haven't had any Bluetooth connectivity issues. It's just been a surprisingly solid little device, especially for what you pay for it. So one thing that's a standout here, if we go into the Play Store, local recommendations, no thanks. And we go over to settings, we go all the way down to the settings app. We go to about. This right here is the magical little thing. Device is certified. Guys, this has Google Play certification. And what that means is apps that sometimes don't work with other devices from very small manufacturers that don't go through the process of getting it certified, the apps themselves won't work. You can download them, they'll show up in Play Store, but they won't actually work. And the app that I use to test this, because sometimes even ones that will work on some won't work on others, even though it was not Play certified, it would on others that weren't, so on and so forth. One that never fails me is the MyQ Garage Door app. I don't understand why, but they have, maybe it's a security thing. Probably that's what it is, a security thing, not wanting people to be able to hack your phone and get into your garage. But this little guy does not work if there is even a whiff of not being fully Google Play certified. And I was able to install it, and as you can see here, no error screen. Takes me right in. Normally, it would let you install, and then once you tried to log in, it would flash an error code and wouldn't even take you this far. So Google Play certified, you should be able to use any apps that you would like with it, but talking about the real world use, so in Jake mode, which for those of you that maybe are new here, I only use a couple of apps when I'm in Jake mode. Basically how it works is a call app, a texting app, a messaging app, for me usually Telegram, sometimes Beeper, and then some kind of an audio or an ebook app, whether that's Read Era Premium, which I'm not going to be trying to read ebooks on this small of a screen, or just something more like Spotify or even just an MP3 app. Those would be the four apps that I have in what I call Jake mode. I would then go into the settings here, all apps, and just go in and start disabling everything that I could. So the purpose of Jake mode is, one, for me to be super focused, and two, to have really, really good battery life. Doing that on the Bluefox NX1, I would be able to easily get between 2 and 3 days of battery life between charges. And that's not with me necessarily avoiding using the phone. Like, I would still do calls, I would still send messages and texts and listen to the occasional MP3 or ebook with the audio playback, and I would still be getting 2 to 3 days easily. One time, I think I might have even stretched it to 3.5 days, but I don't want to say definitively because I didn't record my notes on that. But yeah, easily. In normal mode, where you just go on and put on whatever apps you need, your messaging apps, your multimedia apps, social media apps, what have you, moderate, I'll say normal use, you're easily going to get 1.5 days, 2 days with this, because the screen is so small. It just doesn't pull up, doesn't drain a lot of those resources that you would with a big screen. It has a very meager processor, but again, one that meets my needs all the way. So who is this device for? I would say this is a great disconnect device if you're just wanting to have it slip away in your pocket or your bag and you don't even want to think about it. And boy, can you. This thing is so small, even with the case on it. It kind of, this camera, as I'm looking here at the viewfinder, it doesn't really do it justice here, just how small it is. Let me see if I have something on my desk here that I can, well, here you go. How about my returning retro card? I mean, you are just barely a little bit taller than a credit or a debit card, and you're actually skinnier than, I mean, this thing, I cannot overstate how small this device is. So it really can just disappear away into wherever you want to store it. So for people that are looking for a device that's super compact, super portable, but still has full Android and can get you everything that you need, it's a great device. If you're looking for just a super great camera, I'll talk about the cameras in just a second, or, I mean, a week-long battery. I mean, this isn't going to be the device for you, but they don't make the claims that this is that kind of device either. So now, a couple of notes on the operating system. So this is running just bone stock Android. I mean, it doesn't have any bloatware of any kind. It has the DuraSpeed app built into it, which comes with all, as far as I understand, all devices that have a MediaTek chipset. But other than that, it's all just base Android. So if we go and look at, we're on Android 15. Now, I've spoken to the folks over at Aiphor. I've talked to them. They are actively developing software updates right now. In fact, they sent one over to me that I was testing out a little bit. They worked just fine. I just rolled it back to the official one because the official one has made it through the Google Play certification process, and they haven't had the forthcoming OTA make it all the way through that process yet. And connectivity-wise, guys, I haven't had any issues. Like, I popped in my Google Fi SIM card. It connected way faster than even my Pixel does when I use my Google Fi SIM in my Pixel. So something about about this. They went above and beyond to get it so that it works really well. Same thing with my US mobile SIM card. Pop it in, it works just fine. Now, a couple of features that aren't yet currently available on the international model that is on the Chinese model. I have the international model right here. You'll see their version of the dynamic island. Right now, it just sits there dormant. It doesn't have any notification information. It doesn't have anything there that is of any use. It's basically just a large cutout with the camera in the middle of it. That should be forthcoming. That is something that they have said they are working on developing for the broader markets. Additionally, there are no biometrics, so there's no fingerprint scanner. And again, on the international version, which I have here, they do not have a face unlock available yet. They do on the Chinese, and I believe it is planned for them to roll that out to the international ROM as well. So cameras, let's get you guys a quick little camera sample here. So I've got one of my chromatics here in front of me. You can kind of see. So this is with the main camera. I'll throw this on the screen right now. So I'll throw that on there for you as well. Now again, mind you, these are suboptimal lighting conditions. I'm just in my basement office where I tend to film these videos. So I'll let you. Overall, camera quality, good. Not great, but also not bad. But again, I've taken it with me, on family walks or things like that, and have taken pictures with it, and I found the results to be quite good. But like I just threw on the screen here, you guys can be the judges for yourself. So yeah, I could go on and on. I mean, I haven't had any connectivity issues, so I have wired USB-C headphones. They work great. I've I've connected some Bluetooth headphones, also works great. I've connected to the Bluetooth in my truck, also works great. And that is a rather old 2006 Honda. I am a big fan of the NX1. I have really, really high hopes for where Aiphor is going to take the Bluefox line in the future. They actually are actively developing the Gen 2 of this device. If you are interested in a tiny little device that helps you disconnect but still gives you all the connectivity that you might need from your smartphone, I very much would recommend giving the Bluefox NX1 a look. Well, my friends, if you've made it this far into the video, you've probably realized I am in love with the Bluefox NX1. It is such a fun, quirky, I don't know, dare I say, cute little device, but it works so well. The battery life, as I discussed, awesome. It has plenty enough processing power for a screen of this size to still be able to use any of the apps that I might need without stuttering. And like I said, back in, I think it was end of June, early July, I ordered it kind of on a whim, pre-ordered it rather, and here about a month and a half in, not quite 2 months, I love this thing. I can highly recommend. Camera quality, as you saw, is more than serviceable for a device of this cost and of this size. So I definitely can, without hesitation, recommend checking out the NX1 if you're looking for a device that still has all of the needs that you might, that still meets all of the needs that you might have from a smartphone, but because of the way that it is designed hardware-wise, you're just not as tempted to pull it out and doom scroll all day or be distracted by social media or the online shopping or whatever else a massive phablet in your pocket can do for you. So lots of more fun stuff to come, guys. I have a lot of really exciting devices as well as some software that I'm going to be covering here on the channel. It's the end of the year. Things are a little bit crazy for me in December, January with work, family, all of it. But I appreciate you retroverts for sticking here with me. A lot of really exciting things to come. If you haven't already, feel free to follow in the Discord server, Instagram, on X. Let's see, obviously there's the Reddit page that's been around for a while now. Your support means the world. More to come. Thanks, guys.